Hi, this is Donna Kendrick, and welcome to this edition of Widow, Wisdom, and Wealth, where we interview people that are thriving in developing their careers as well as balancing parenthood. Often in our podcast, you will have interviews between myself and my husband, Jim, as we kind of talk about how we've each navigated, I guess, what we'd call widowhood. Him, a divorced and then widower, as well as myself as a widow, and how our experiences differ, as well as how we see clients in our practice navigate widowhood and raising their own kids. In this podcast, it's an impromptu conversation. My Jim was on his way home from a few days away, some me time for himself, and he stopped by the office so that we could have a conversation pretty much about self-care, taking care of your sleep, leaning into your community, and forgiving yourself if normal life and the way it felt before we lost our partner or spouse is no longer achievable, and that we have to wrap ourselves around a new normal. I hope you enjoy this listen. It's a little bit lighthearted. It's really impromptu, but so far it's one of my favorites. Thanks so much. Ready, boo? All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another podcast of Widow, Wisdom, and Wealth. This is an edition with Donna Jean and my husband, Jimmy Gehan. Jim did not know he was recording a podcast today. He was on his way home from the Mecu auto auction, it was, in Harrisburg, PA. We had gotten him tickets, and I was like, hey, bub, on your way home, how about you pull by? We recorded a podcast. And he's like, what are we going to talk about? And I said, I'll tell you later. So, welcome to our conversation.
Can't wait to hear what it's about.
I think it has to do in line with you going to Mecu. And this is the first weekend in our relationship, really, where we've taken time apart to do something that you and I wanted to do. And it really reminded me, and I will tell everyone, like I just came back from a writer's retreat in Sedona, which was fantastic without you.
Yes.
Right. And it was different. And I had never done anything like that in how long? Like ever, I don't think. Ever, people. Like my first vacation as an adult on my own, and it wasn't even a vacation, it was a writer's retreat, right?
Sure.
But it felt like one.
But you got to bring friends.
I did. I brought two of my besties from high school. When someone knows you for 35 years, it's a good day in a cabana in Sedona when you're not at the writing retreat, I gotta say. I'll post pictures there. But what I wanted to say is here I was a widow for all these years, right? And I definitely didn't do anything just for me, right? It was always either work, right? Trying to keep the world together, or for the kids, right? And you've always encouraged me, even when it wasn't you and me, when you were the contractor in my house, to do something for me.
Yes.
And by me going back to school, I felt like that's what I was doing. I was aiding my career, I was helping, but to literally take some downtime, to have some space. I shouldn't be 52 going on a podcast being like, make some time for yourself. It feels so good. Right. And I missed the heck out of you, I gotta say, when you were away at Mecu. Like it was 2 nights of me being like sleeping with the lights on and touching the side of the bed. I mean, like, I miss my boo. I don't like this. Why did I buy him tickets? Why did it, right? And you were 2.5 hours away.
That's it.
Right. But I'm glad that you got to do something that you loved, right? We did not buy cars, people. We literally, he went and looked and touched and sent me pictures of blue cars.
It's only because I wasn't allowed to buy cars.
Yeah, apparently at Mecu you have to like put some money in an account so people can spend it. And so I bought him tickets to Mecu, but I didn't do that. Were you waiting for a
I
surprise?
looked all over for that account and it did not exist.
Did you go to the will call desk and you're like, I'm Jimmy Gehan,
Yes.
and I'm sure my wife put
And
buy a new car.
They did not care who I was.
No, I didn't do it. It could be a future goal, babe.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's a whole lot of lead in for what I want to talk about, because this is a podcast about navigating your career and kids. And it felt so good to spend some time on me as a person for something that was creative, writing. The writing supports the business, but still there was a day there where I sat in a cabana with my friends, and it was fantastic.
Because you need that.
Yeah. And so that's why we really wanted to talk about, because you were the person, as a point, that pushed me to take some time for me.
I think everyone needs that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You can't just work and go to sleep.
But
and
how
that's it.
the guilt part of it? Like for me, a lot of it was the fact that like as a widow, I just never did because I had these three kids, and if there's extra time or extra money, it should be spent on them, more time with them.
Mhm.
Like three kids as a widow, you don't get a lot of individual time except for maybe dropping one off at lacrosse so you have a quiet car for another one. And of course, they're eating McDonald's at that point in time because you were
Sure.
too exhausted to prep for lunches to take them. Listeners who
Mhm.
have kids, you know what I'm talking about. But I would never spend it on me. So I'm going to lean into the wisdom of Jim again of taking time for yourself.
Well, I've always told you that I think men have always done it. Not in a bad way. I just mean if men in the past who owned businesses,
Mhm.
they would go buy themselves a car, a motorcycle, a boat, and there's nothing wrong with that. They would take time for themselves, and I think women have a harder time now that they are careers
Mhm.
in the last couple decades. Now they're building that, they're building careers, businesses, doing the same thing, but I feel like they can't spend anything for themselves, and I never understood why. If you're putting in 80 hours a week, you're allowed to do stuff. You're allowed to go away. The kids are fine.
Yeah.
Do the kids need anything?
No, and
No,
actually,
the kids don't need it. They're all fed.
yeah.
I'm certainly fed, you know,
Yeah.
but no, I just think
I like them big. I like them chunky.
35 pounds heavier since her. Um, no, I think women have a harder time spending money on themselves. They do on small things,
Yeah.
I think,
Well, let's even talk.
but not
Let's
like vacations, not like hobbies. Like it's why you started golfing.
True. Yeah. So Jim
Yeah.
encouraged me, let's talk again, to pick up
Mhm.
a sport that was outside in daylight, right? I'm
Yeah.
almost always cold. And so I do love when it's like here in Philadelphia, was it like
Mhm.
90 today and sunny? He wants air conditioning
Yeah.
and I could just be standing outside. Like I just love it,
Yeah.
right? But he's like, go do something, one, that you're not good at, that you have to learn how to do
Mhm.
so that you breaks that pattern of me thinking about work or thinking about the kids all the time. And the other thing was like do something that will get you out into the sun
Mhm.
for a 4 hour period, right? So for
But before anyone thinks anything, I do not golf. So if someone's going to think,
tell them
I got
why.
you into golfing, no, hold on. Some people think, oh, you got your wife into golfing because you want to golf. I've never touched a golf club. Don't
No.
want to, no plans to.
On the 16th hole, we call Jimmy
Yes,
and we're saying we're at the 16th hole, get in the car, we'll meet you for dinner.
yes.
And then we treat him to din
And
din.
I show up for dinner.
He
Yeah,
does. That's
that's
the
it.
35 pounds,
But I
people.
am left-handed and I really have poor vision in my right eye. So my swing wouldn't be the best even if I attempted it.
Yeah.
So I'm
But
not attempting it.
but the thing is, you are a good companion. So you'd be great in like the cart. Like I would actually pay your greens fee just to have you in the cart for entertainment purposes. Just to let you know.
Unless it's air conditioned.
Therein lies the rub.
Mhm.
But let's kind of switch this because I agree with you. Like for many of times, women are the nurturers, right? And they're the
Yes.
moms. And so, or, like you said, for many years, we didn't have income of our own. Like it was shared
Yeah.
income in the family. It does exist that way for many, many people. But
Absolutely.
many of the listeners of this podcast are career oriented
Yes.
and they are still working 60 hours
Mhm.
and they've got the kids at home and they're trying to make time for their family and the old in-laws. And if they're even dating, let alone have
Yep.
some more time. But we have widower friend, right? That
Mhm.
took him 3 years
Yep.
to use vacation time for what he called a staycation. And I think that was one of the things that pushed me into getting you the Mecum
Yep.
like tickets. Like you've been running for the last 2 years of everything to help me with my business, to help the three kids after their mom passed, to help my three adult kids move and launch.
Mhm.
You don't take any time for yourself. But this widower friend of us, when he took the staycation, he didn't tell anyone.
No.
He didn't tell anyone he was off. Like the kids actually thought he went to work every day because he just wanted to do
Yeah, he didn't
what
go anywhere.
he wanted to do, whether that was work on the house,
Yeah.
whether that was to get
Mhm.
doctor's visits, financial planning done, anything
Yep.
like that. But he literally didn't go
He
anywhere.
took care of himself for the week.
Yeah,
Just had a good time
yeah. And
at
it
home.
took him 3 years
Yeah.
to take 5 days
Yeah.
to just breathe a little.
And he loved it
I know. I know.
because I was with him. So I
So,
had fun too.
yeah.
Some late nights in there. Yeah.
Now we're talking about
I'm just saying.
that.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're good buddies. They're a lot of fun together.
Mhm.
Mhm. All right. So, how do we get our listeners in the early years of widowhood,
Mhm.
right? Like, we're talking like it looks like in our own experience, it's like the 3-year mark
Yeah.
where we're like, okay, I'm gonna take a little time for me, right? So how do we encourage, I'm gonna use this self-care for these widows and widowers early on after loss to protect that little bit of them that just feels like it's in the swirl
Sure.
of everything that's going on? What are your thoughts?
Well, I just think the number one thing with most people is the guilt.
Yeah.
And the kids are fine. The kids actually probably prefer when a parent goes away for a couple of days, takes
Yeah.
care of themselves, takes a long weekend, whatever. And when I say prefer, it's just because for them it's freedom too. They can eat when they want. They can, do what they want, especially if you have older kids, obviously.
Yeah. I'm going to interject in that one. When I went away for the week to Sedona for the writers retreat, I have in my daily log, one of the missions that I want to do is spend more time with the kids and make sure that I cook at least 3 nights a week. Right? The kids were so excited because the house was filled with mac and cheese,
Yes.
ramen noodles, those little pizza rolls, right? And so they didn't have to eat my well-balanced meals anymore. So yeah, the week away made them very happy. And there was Jim saying, see, it's that easy.
Well, actually, Donna would ask me every night, what did the kids eat? And I would because they just prepared their
They
own
didn't
food.
eat, they grazed all day long.
They lived like single guys for the week.
Yeah.
They loved it.
There weren't dishes. There was wrappers,
Yes.
paper plates,
Yes.
and I will say a shortage of spoons.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
That might have been ice cream.
And some forks, but
yeah, like why do you come home from a weekend?
That's a
spoons and
normal
forks are
problem.
missing.
That's a
That's
common
just
problem.
not in
Nope.
blended
It
families.
is a common problem.
It's not like some type of leftover tragedy or trauma experience for our kids that don't have
No,
another parent blood.
no,
No, it's just teenagers.
it's pure laziness. 100%. Mm-hmm.
So let's even talk about that. I remember being in the early months, maybe the first year of widowhood, and trying to keep everything for my kids normal, the way it used to be, like cooking at least 3 nights a week, right? And not um, keeping the routine of the day. And I believe in that. I really do, in my own opinion, did a great job in the first year or two of widowhood in my head. In my head. But wouldn't it have been nicer if one of those like food boxes, like HelloFresh or whatever, like the meals or wouldn't that be nicer if that showed up for one of those meals? That I didn't have to put that on the shopping list, that I just had the ingredients and how to make it. That would have like lifted it a little bit. Or if one night was sandwich night that I never let my kids have. They always had to have a meat and a starch and a vegetable, and I believe in it
And you
still.
can have all that if you just order a bundle box from McDonald's. Just saying.
Again, the 35 pounds is not all of my good cooking. Did you and your little widower friend do bundle boxes on this vacation?
Yes, yeah. Guilty pleasure of the single man when we were just, the wives weren't around, girlfriends weren't around, right?
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Do you like the chicken bundle box or
No.
oh, you like the Biggie Macs and
Yeah.
and the 2 burgers?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Bundle box for each person.
Now, do you upload to a shake?
No.
No.
Yeah. Gotta
Sure.
take care of yourself a little bit.
It's the lactose, guys. I know you don't have
I was
that
gonna say
issue.
that was husband number one. I'm fine.
My poor first husband had a little lactate problem,
Yeah.
so he always had a very upset belly.
Yeah.
So yes, you're correct.
Mhm.
But he was bigger than you too.
I'll get there.
Yeah, that was many years in marriage. We're only on 3.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's get back to it. Taking care of yourself,
Yes.
right? Even in the early years or months, right? Making sure you take one thing off your plate that might make your life a little easier.
Mhm.
I think one of the biggest things too is when we talk about like self-care is rest, right? That's a big thing. You see my new ring?
Mhm.
That's what you get when your husband goes away to Harrisburg. Sorry with the middle finger. Didn't mean that down here. But it's one of those rings that actually monitors your sleep and your heart rate and your stress. And we were talking because years ago when you were stressed out at work, right? We could see when Jim was getting overloaded because he'd be pacing on the porch at one point in time. But his Apple Watch would start to ring saying his heart rate was getting too high. And that's how I knew like the stress levels getting out of hand, right? But you can like monitor on the stress level too. And I know that when I get my sleep under control, I'm a nicer person. I know when my sleep is under control, I can focus better. So I think taking care of your sleep is a really big thing. And if you can't do it, because life is too busy, or maybe you're running two
Right.
jobs because it's just you, or the kids are scared and they can't go to bed. Like, really, that's when you lean in and you have those open conversations. Like, mom has to sleep. And if I don't sleep,
Mhm.
I'm not going to be able to go to work. Right. And go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say when you said about making it normal.
Yeah.
Well, the way I look at it, it's not going to be normal because it's that normal's gone.
Yeah. Right.
So
This isn't
what's
going to work anymore. You got to get out of
well,
mom's bed.
there was two people there.
Yeah.
Now there's one. So if you're trying to keep up with normal, now you're trying to do job of two people. So you just have to make a new normal. I mean, it's going to be different.
Yeah.
They already know the kids know it's different.
Yeah.
You know it's different.
Yeah.
You can't pretend that it isn't. I appreciate what you're saying. I get that.
No,
You
it's a
don't
good
want their
point.
life disrupted, but at the same time, if now it's, you know,
Yeah.
and be honest with you, you're because of being stressed out, and if you're the only parent now or whatever, you're allowed to go out on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't before because you're married and your life's in the way and all that. Not that it's not a bad thing. You had someone to hang with.
You had something to cuddle with on the couch.
So now it's okay to meet friends to get outside. You can't just stay in the house. It's and I think that's the stress level too. I think it makes it harder. It would make it harder in the beginning months, whether divorced or widowed, because now your whole life is just work in the house and sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying go out all the time. I'm not saying, but you need that break. I
Yeah.
mean,
That pressure release.
you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because when it's in the early months too, like there's sadness.
of course.
There's the grief there
Mhm.
too. And when you do go out and maybe have dinner with friends,
That's it.
right, from high school,
Yeah.
just for 2 hours,
That's nothing.
right?
Mhm.
And I also remember telling like people in the neighborhood after Greg died would be like, "What can we do for you? Like, how do we help?" Right? And I don't, oh no, we're good, right? I
Yeah.
didn't want to lean in to look like I was weak, right? Or I needed it. And they genuinely meant it, right? Wouldn't have been easy for me to say, "Oh, could you give me an hour so I can go for a walk?" Or
No,
can you
it's
give me an
yeah,
hour so I can go
100%.
meet somebody for wings?
Yeah.
Like that would be fantastic. And I never did.
Yeah, people are offering to help. It's because they want to help.
Yeah, true. True. So taking care of yourself with some big ways,
Mhm.
right? Taking days, vacations,
Absolutely.
and breaks if you need to,
Yeah.
making sure you get your sleep under control.
Mhm.
And I like what you're saying. Like it's not going to be normal. Like you
No,
can create your own new
no.
rituals and those for your family
Mhm.
and even work, right? Like maybe it is, I can't work the unpaid overtime anymore.
Yeah.
I need to go home at 4 o'clock because this is how I spend time with my kids.
And just because the normal you had, just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad.
True.
Different doesn't mean bad. It's just, everything shifted.
Yeah. And you're right. The other
Yeah.
half of your relationship is gone.
Yeah.
It's going to feel
Mhm.
different. You can't change that.
And
It
I think,
is.
and it's definitely harder with young kids.
It
I
is.
mean, some people have really young kids. They're stuck, trying to navigate that.
Hmm.
So when I say stuck, I meant stuck in that situation.
Yeah.
Not stuck with them, stuck with the situation. But yeah, as they get older, which they will,
Hmm.
but I think early on
Yeah.
you can't be in your own head all the time. You need to get out.
Yeah. Have some distractions that are
Yeah.
healthy for you in life. Right. And truly, I remember, I did a year with like no counseling. And then like
Mhm.
after a year, I started seeing my skinny Buddha just to kind of, that's his nickname, right? But he was like bald, but he was skinny and he was peaceful like Buddha. Skinny Buddha.
Mhm.
But he really helped me like understand like where to put that grief and how to try to parent through it. I just need someone to help me keep those thoughts of uh, Greg's death and being on my own straight, right?
Right.
And so that lasted for a good year, and he gave me really good points on how to live life, or when the
Yeah.
thoughts start to overwhelm, how to categorize them. I used to count that time as the Donna time, almost
Right.
like guilty for that. That's not it. That's part of. It's like putting gas into the engine of a
Mhm.
car. That was part of keeping me moving. I don't know why back then I put that as like that was my quiet
Well, I
time.
think that time should have been getting you to get in the right mindset to go do your own thing.
Yeah, I should have taken another hour after that.
Again, going back to the golf, it's right. I don't want to, even if I wanted, I'm not going to golf. I wanted you to have your own thing
Yeah.
that has nothing to do with me.
I'm a ton of fun out there.
But you bring friends with you and you have a good time. You rotate people
Yeah.
you play with. You have friends and
Yeah.
networking.
Yeah,
Just all
clients
over the
and
place, clients and.
family.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
I like that better. That's your
Yeah. And I met a
that's
whole
your thing.
bunch of people when I went to like that women learning the golf type of thing.
Yep.
And we
Mhm.
just did 4 holes one night a week, and
Yep.
we're learning literally how to golf. And those are people I still golf with today, because you don't feel bad when you know that half their strokes are as wonky as yours.
And at the club, they have no idea who I am.
It's true. They don't even know what to call you.
Nope.
Yeah, because the name of the practice is Sefton Financial, my maiden name. I'm a Kendrick. He's a Gehan.
Mhm.
So he walks in and he's like, Donna's husband.
I'm just +1.
He's like, thank you, Mr. Kendrick.
I'm the +1. Yep.
Yeah, and then oh yeah, and then I golf with your brother-in-law, and so I always say it's my brother-in-law. That's a whole nother nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, and then my cousin's part of the club. That's another nickname.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think people thought I was married to my cousin for the longest time. It's not it. You're much younger.
A little bit.
Like 15 years younger.
A little bit.
He still has a 4 in front of his name.
A little
So
bit. Just for a couple more years.
I know,
Mhm.
right? I'm gonna lay into it.
It'll go quick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So okay. Moral of the story: don't feel guilty taking care of yourself. You need it, and that's what's going to keep your motor running. That's what's going to provide an example to your kids that you are allowed to take me time. I don't think I've ever stopped our kids when they're like, I had a rough day. I
Mhm.
just go upstairs and stream a little. I
Absolutely.
don't knock. I don't interrupt them. I give them their hour to decompress, but I would never give that to myself.
Right.
So
And like I said, no matter what age, even kids, you're allowed to have your own time.
yeah,
Yeah. They don't have to be stimulated 24 hours a day.
true.
And I think that if you do that with kids, then they're just going to turn into adults
That need to be
that
stimulated 24
that
hours.
need that don't know how to take their own time. So Mhm.
I'm learning. But no, and making sure that your sleep is under wraps, that you reach out for extra care when you need it. It is a busy life. You've got kids and you've got
Mhm.
career, and you're on your own, and everything feels different, and that's okay.
It's okay.
All right. Any other words of wisdom from you, big guy?
I'm all good. I want to save it.
Yeah.
I like to sprinkle it.
But we have other interviews. We don't want people to get too connected to
Yes.
you. So
I'm just +1.
thank you for coming in. Impromptu, off the road, not all dressed up in your polo.
In shorts.
I know.
Yes.
It is a hot day.
It is hot.
It's hot in here too because my air
It is
conditioner's
very hot.
Brit-
Uncomfortably hot.
I like it warm. Thank you for listening
Thank
and
you.
for being here for this edition of Widow Wisdom and Wealth. I hope you've enjoyed our conversation. Thanks.
Thank you.